Hey,
We are back. I'm Lofi.
I'm Jinxie, and this is a very depressing state of affairs on Game of Thrones.
But a state of affairs that I'm sure you were all excited for us to get to. Oh, you just waiting. Just waiting.
I was emotional. I almost cried, even though Rob is not nearly close to be my favorite. I don't even really care about Talisa.
But they did it so good.
Catelyn, I have mixed feelings about. But it was traumatic.
And it was just really well done, like, the impact of it. And, like, the whole time, I feel like you do sense there's something off. Like, there's just something off, but you don't know what it is. You're like, maybe it's just weird, you know?
Well, the show does really good at making you think of things that are going to happen after the wedding. Because they're planning on attacking Casterly Rock. And they're talking about stuff that's going on after the wedding. So you kind of think that that is going to happen during the finale. Like, they're going to attack Casterly Rock in the finale. So
it's sneaky.
It's not at all makes it seem like it's kind of an end. It's very really well done that way.
Yeah, it makes it seem more realistic. Because, like, in real life, you know, before tragedy strikes, you are having your normal day. You have plans. But usually in shows, they don't show you that. It's all, like, sort of, like, build up to this dramatic moment, but nothing after that dramatic moment.
Yeah.
It's because I guess it would be, like, wasted plot.
Yeah.
But here it really had the impact.
It's misdirection.
It.
Completely misdirection. Like, especially because of the timing they put it as the episode before the finale.
Yeah.
So, so they're dead.
I know.
I wonder, people we think that might not be dead. The uncle, Catelyn's uncle, who left to go, he left early, I can't remember, to the bathroom or something.
Follow his
he
son,
left something.
or his nephew, I think.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Oh, yeah, the nephew. We don't know if he's dead or not.
Which, I feel like they might not kill him since he just married his daughter, but he also didn't care about his wife dying, so I have no clue.
Yeah. Arya and the Hound. Arya's even more traumatized now.
She's Arya.
Like, oh my god. And then, like...
yeah.
She was so close.
How long is this going to trickle down before other people find out?
Yeah.
That they're all dead.
Yeah.
Like, how is Jon going to take that? And when is he going to find out? Jon is completely off. And so are Bran and his little brother, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head. But, like, how long... Like, Arya's the only one that knows. And how long till it reaches, you know, the capital. I'm curious to see the fallout.
Yeah, and I'm wondering about the other North people who survived. Obviously, Bolton survived because he was a betrayer. So he was working with the Lannisters because he said something like... Yeah. Something about the Lannisters, he said.
The best
So clearly he's a, like... So it makes me wonder, like, what about the rest of the Northmen? Like, we don't really honestly see much of them. We knew the Karstarks, but obviously he's dead. And then there were, like, others. There's obviously other northern houses there, but they rarely mention them in the show, so I can't ever remember them. Now I just need to pay attention every time someone, like, Lord Bolton comes up, he's going to be a betrayer. Because that's what happened with Karstarks. Like, that's the only tension when they're going to be, like...
Right. Sneaky.
What's the word? Yeah. Good people don't get highlighted.
Backstabbing.
On this show. So,
right.
Yeah.
Or they die.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bran and Jon almost ran into each other at the wall.
That was so weird.
I don't understand. So, I don't know if it's just, like, the way it was edited or whatever, but I don't understand how Jon could see the two big wolves and not realize that they were dire wolves for the boys. Because even though he left when they were young, dire wolves are so big. Yeah. And they're so uncommon. Yeah. So... Like, maybe he actually legit, I don't know, didn't see them, or, like, just the way it was edited. Or maybe it was kind of fast-paced.
Yeah, maybe it was sort of, like, that desperation of, I need to get away. Well, because I do know he needs, I think probably his mind is straight on, I need to warn Castle Black. Yeah. So I feel like it was, like, one track, like... Because the thing is, these aren't the only wildlings. There's other ones on the other side of the wall and stuff. And I don't know if this is the only team going over the wall or if they have other teams going over the wall. And that might be why he's like, I gotta get to Castle Black. Yeah. Right away to warn them.
I feel really bad that he left Ygritte.
I know.
Like, here's the thing. We know he's a spy the whole time.
Yeah.
So we knew he was going to betray the wildlings. I just... didn't want him to betray her. And I really think that she would have gone with him. I mean, she tried to stop the other wildlings from killing him. And...
I don't think she would have gone with him, though. I don't think she would have wanted him to warn to get the other wildlings killed. I think she would have only wanted to, like, leave and be like, you and me abandon everything else, and that's just not something he can do. Yeah. So it also might be he thought he would put her in danger, possibly, too.
The thing is, I feel like the show has been really good at making us believe that he's, like, super in love with Ygritte, and I totally believe that he is, but I actually think that he's putting his Night's Watch vows before her at this point. He's had conflict with her about, like, it, but it didn't really feel like
He never outright said he was betraying the Watch. Like, he never, when she's the only one who ever said, it's you and me. He kind of just passively went along with it. And I do think it's also the fact that, like, the Watch is the first place that I think he's ever felt, like, fully immersed as a part of it. Mm-hmm. With the Starks, he was always on the outside. With the Wildings, he's on the outside. So I feel like the Watch is the first place that, like, he felt valued and useful and, like, as, like, a full member. Yeah. So I don't think he would easily betray that because he does value that so highly.
Well, he also takes his vows very seriously. Like, the only time he tried to leave was when his family, when Ned Stark was killed, and they managed to stop him. Like, he could have kept on going even though they tried to stop him, but he didn't. He came back. Like, he let them convince him. Vows, yeah. So for him to leave for regret doesn't feel like something he would do, I think.
Or not something he could do with a good conscience.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it would have eaten him up if he had left them to be attacked.
Yeah, and it's just such a sad situation because I like them together.
I know. Which is why they got together in real life, because their chemistry is so good.
Plus the fact that I am not on team Night's Watch versus Wildlings, or Wildlings versus Night's Watch. Mm-hmm. I want the Wildlings to escape the White Walkers, and I want the Night's Watch to also not die and also escape the White Walkers. So it's like...
I wish they could all just be integrated in.
I don't know who to cheer for here. Because you guys are just on, both of you guys got on shitty sides of a war when you should be worrying about someone else.
Right. Like, I think you guys are all past the point of Wildings versus the Watch. Like, I think you're past that point. I think you all need to just come together, open the borders, let them through, keep the evil out. Mm-hmm. You know.
Oh, Sam and Gilly have reached the wall. Yes. I'm so excited. Oh, hopefully they get through. If they do this thing where they, like, get close and then don't make it, I'm gonna lose it.
Or if the baby dies, I'm gonna be pissed. Mm-hmm.
So Daenerys is going through some process right now that honestly I don't care about. Like Yunkai, like
I said, I think right now the focus is on was on the wedding and stuff.
I just mean the way they're resolving her taking the city. I'm like, I like that they got the slaves to revolt, but they didn't show it on screen. They just showed those three breaking into the city, and then, like, you don't see them convincing anybody or the slaves breaking off or whatever, so I don't care about that. Like, I would rather have Daenerys go in, convince the slaves, or whatever, and then, like...
Or if they had at least shown, what's his name?
Grey Worm? No.
Not Grey Worm. Her, like, second-hand man...
Jorah.
Yeah, if they'd shown Jorah, like, convincing the slaves, at least just, like, a little scene of, like, a rally cry, then I think it would have been more impactful, even if we didn't see, like, a full battle, if I just seen, like, that sort of little, like, come join us, and you will be free, and then Grey Worm, like, chimes in, being like, yeah, blah, 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 this is what she did for us.
Yeah.
And then I think it would have been better than all of a sudden just, like, all done.
Yeah, they went in, had an action scene that I honestly didn't care about, and then, came back and were like, hey, we convinced the slaves, woot. Like, I'm just like, well, you know, why bother?
Like, I'll take it. Like, you could have, I guess you could have just skipped it and, like, had, like, a spy moment of, like, oh, yeah, she made it past blah, blah, blah. Because isn't the eunuch, I can't remember his name. I'm so bad with names.
Very?
Like a label. Yeah, isn't he technically on their side still?
He is, but I don't know I don't know if he has information on Daenerys, right? Because, like, the last information he had before was before her dragons? No,
they know about the dragons.
No, they know about the dragons, yeah. Okay, I can't remember.
But I don't know how much they know about the conquest. Yeah. But, like, because, I just feel like in the first season, they had a whole bunch of, like, those sort of little spy things with them, and now there's not that crossover. And I think that could have been a good moment of just having a little, him discussing with one of his colleagues, being like, she's taken over... blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then it could just been inserted that way as well.
I also think I don't like sort of where some of her stuff might be heading towards, where there's a little bit of a love triangle between Jorah, Daenerys, and this new guy. And I'm like, I don't even care. Honestly.
Right. I just want her to be her badass self.
Her romance with Khal Drogo was so interesting. Like...
so conflicting.
So conflicting, but also really interesting. So, like... anything else so far has paled in comparison. I think I could maybe get behind her and Jorah if they build it up. Like just because they've been together for so long that I could. But otherwise, I'm just like, everything is kind of like, meh, in terms of romance for that. And like, I guess I'm kind of picky about the romance, obviously, since I didn't really enjoy Rob and Talisa very much either. I was just like, why bother? Like,
I think, well, it's partially because, like, I don't think
love romance too.
We do. Like, we watch a lot of, like, sort of cheesy shows. We watch some romance shows, stuff like that, where
I love
the romance is the focus. But I think in this one, since the romance is not the focus, it's kind of like, do you need it for a lot of it? Like,
I don't know. I'm just like, if you're not gonna go all in, then I don't even. Why waste my screen time with it?
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm not into this upcoming love triangle that I'm feeling might be coming. I don't know if it really is, but that's the vibe I got from the last episode.
I feel like they're not gonna go. I don't think they're gonna go like full love triangle. I feel like it's just more of like a back burner love triangle thing. At least I hope. But we'll find out. I think we had a lot of prep for this episode.
I feel like we had a lot of thoughts from last. Maybe we must have not been too shocked to really articulate at the end of the last episode. Honestly, because I'm just like, wow, we had so much to say about this one.
I think that happens every episode. It's because, like, you watch it and then you're done and then you have, like, your initial feelings. Yeah. But then you have time to, like, percolate your thoughts and feelings on it and, like, really develop them. So I think, with how impactful the last one was. And also we are nearing the end of the season.
I don't know where they're going to go with this one, honestly. Besides the fact that I think it's going to be the attack at Castle Black. Because he's ran to warn them, and they were so close to Castle Black already. So that's the only thing I know that I think is going to happen for sure. That's it.
Yeah. I was like, no idea where the rest is going to go. So I guess there's just going to be a lot of talking in this episode because we got the pre and then we got the end.
Yeah, right? It's going to be a long one.
So
let's go.
Let's get into it.
Oh, Theon. Every time I forget about Theon. It's because I'm wiping it from my brain.
The storyline is just unneeded and painful. Rickon.
Oh, the Rickon separated.
So much happened in the last episode.
I forgot everything. I don't want to watch this again. I'm so sorry, Arya. I'm so sorry. I hate your face. Ooh. The sucky thing is that the Northmen won't realize who's turned against them. You know? Oh, I can't watch this massacre.
I'm like, did they give him a chance to betray first, or did they just go straight to the killing?
I'm pretty sure they just went straight to the killing so they could take him by surprise.
That would be their
get
style.
Out of there.
Oh, the wolf's head.
I'm not looking. Tell me when it's over.
Looking.
I cannot. I'm so upset right now. I'm so upset. Poor Arya. She sees all the crap stuff. Is it over? I can't. I don't want to look.
Her list of people to murder is getting longer and longer.
I hope she succeeds. Oh my god, Sansa's gonna be devastated.
My sister used to do that when she was angry with me. And she was always angry with me.
Why sheep shift?
That's the vulgar word for dumb.
Oh, she's too young. Oh, it's so cute.
Your father has called a meeting of the small council.
Oh no, he's gonna have to tell her.
Oh god, I can't. This episode is just going to be
And of course he's delighted. Oh, it's so gross. I can't wait till you die.
Oh. Apologies, my lord.
You're the worst. You're all the worst.
I know.
I feel bad for Tyrion for being the nicest out of all of you.
I know.
Command him to send Robb Stark's head. I'm going to serve it to Sansa at my wedding feast.
So gross.
Oh, I'm a monster. Perhaps you should speak to me more softly then. Monsters are dangerous. Just now, kings are dying like flies.
I am the king! I will punish you.
Any man who must say, I am the king, is no true king.
He's not here to put up with your shit.
I'm sure you understand that when I've won your war for you.
My father won the real war. He killed Prince Rhaegar. He took the crown while you hid under Castle Rock.
Oh, right. You are so wrong.
Oh, Tyrion's face is like, you're an idiot.
Everybody's face is like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're like, you can insult everybody at this table except him. You cannot insult your grandfather.
You just sent the most powerful man in Westeros to bed without his supper.
You're a fool if you believe he's the most powerful man in Westeros.
A treasonous statement. Joffrey is king.
Roose Bolton will be named Warden of the North.
Now!
When have you ever done something that wasn't in your interest, but solely for the benefit of the family?
The day that you were born.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I could tell.
I wanted to carry you into the sea and let the waves wash you away. Instead, I let you live. And I brought you up as my son.
Barely.
because you're a Lannister.
He's the best of all of you.
I know.
Don't worry, Tyrion, you have a new family now.
Mm-hmm.
Sansa.
Oh, she knows.
Does. I'm sure some jackass couldn't wait to tell her.
I'm sure.
He killed a guest beneath his roof. That's something the gods can't forgive.
Oh.
Oh, is it like foreshadowing? Because
it is.
They have that
killed
thing.
The guest beneath your roof.
They have that thing where they're like the guests right or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Blackfish escaped.
Yes.
Oh, good. He's gonna come back and kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Here's to the young wolf. Oh,
Forever young.
Yeah.
Why do I have to watch the scene of two horrible people discussing with each other? Like, I don't want to. I don't want to.
You gotta see it before they get their comeuppance.
Ramsay has his own way of doing things.
So he's a Bolton.
Like, is there literally any point to this? Like, where is... I just don't get it.
I can't. I'm sorry, Simon. You're a good actor, but I just can't watch these
The problem is you're too good.
I can't. Here's the thing. I don't even really like Theon, but I hope he escapes and kills you. Okay?
Right.
kill me. A little louder.
He's not going to.
Yeah. He's enjoying the torture too much. He doesn't even want anything from you when he's torturing you. He doesn't know anything more about the Starks.
You're just meat.
Headbutt him, Theon.
Dude, he has no strength in him.
I know. I just had high hope.
Just spit on him or something.
What is your
Don't say it, Theon.
Just stick with it.
I don't want to watch them.
Like, did this take up this much time in the book? Like, seriously.
I have no idea. Please be something good. Please be something good, Bran. Can't see it too.
It is Sam!
Who's your brother?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, all kinds of wolves.
Mm-hmm.
You're John's brother. The one who fell from the window.
No, I'm not.
I've been round Ghost enough to know a direwolf when I see one. And I've heard all about Hodor.
Yay!
Right?
At least one meetup.
There's no way you would know them if you didn't know John.
Please, Sam. I have to go north. I have to.
Oh, Sam, what are you gonna do?
I will hunt down every islander still in our lands and flay them living the way I flayed the 20 ironborn scum I found at Winterfell.
Oh, they didn't even make it, like...
He's your son.
Son is not a man anymore.
I also don't think it was very strategic to honestly send his penis. Because, like, he's even less inclined to take somebody who can't, like, continue the family line.
Mm-hmm. I just feel bad for her, pretty much.
I know. Because she actually cares about her brother.
I'm going to pick the fastest ship in our fleet.
Yes, go girl!
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to choose the 50 best killers on the Iron Islands.
And they have many.
I'm going to sail up the narrow sea all the way to the Weeping Water. I'm going to march on the Dreadfort. I'm going to find my little brother. And I'm going to bring him home.
Yes.
If anybody can do it, I have faith in her.
Yeah.
Like, because she will be just as ruthless back.
Yeah.
Why? What are they for?
Killing White Walkers, baby.
Killing White Walkers.
How do you know that?
Baby.
Because I've killed one.
The walker came for my baby.
Well, they did say baby.
Sam.
But no one's killed a White Walker in thousands of years.
Well, I suppose someone had to be the first.
Take it, Hodor.
You can do it, Hodor.
I honestly think the girl should have it.
Yeah, I kind of think so, too.
And the archer.
Oh, he has more.
Oh, he has... Oh, they're,
Those ones are smaller, yeah.
Yeah, for arrows.
I wish you'd come with us.
I wish I could.
But he's got to find his calling.
I really do.
At least John will know now that he's alive if they manage to meet up.
Well, I mean, I don't think
Sam
John
and
ever
John.
knew... Did he know that they were dead?
Yeah, because they thought Bran and Rickon were dead for a long time.
Yeah.
It's been so long that
I
you
know
forget.
so much has happened. I mean, at least he found a safe way out for them.
Honestly, it made them safer, though, now that we know the Boltons were betraying them. Because if the Boltons had found them, they probably would have killed them.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, Gendry!
No, let him go. I know you don't agree with this.
I wanted him to have a better life.
Does he?
He's dead.
How'd he die?
Following me.
You're one of the few lords I like, to be fair.
I know.
And now I'm his wife's servant. I brush her hair and clip her nails and empty her chamber pots.
She is a sweet young thing. None of this is her fault.
I love that girl. I would kill for her.
Yay. I just want them 3 to escape together.
Agreed.
I'm not asking you to leave him for money. I'm asking you to leave because your presence in the capital endangers him.
It makes him vulnerable.
Yeah, I mean, it is true. But, I don't know. I mean, it would be safer.
So, enjoying married life?
Why are you here? Why do we have to listen to you? You basically didn't do anything this season, and you're not doing anything now, so...
I used to spend hours looking at him. His wisps of hair. His tiny little hands and feet. He was such a jolly little fellow.
So much has changed.
I feel like this conversation is supposed to make me sympathetic for her about why she's going along with Joffrey, even though he's going off the rails. But I don't, because she encourages his behavior. So, like...
Yeah. I do appreciate... No, I think it's gotten to the point where she doesn't even encourage it.
It's worth a lot. Sorry.
Bullshit.
Sorry, I'm a little too overjoyed by this, but
Yeah,
like, she needs a win, even just a tiny win.
Agreed. Just kill him. Just kill him.
Where did you get the knife?
From you.
I forgot about the coin. From the
Faceless man.
Yeah, Faceless Man.
I love that guy. Like, I know he was a murderer, but he was the best. I miss him.
Oh, she caught up.
She pissed at you.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
I do know some things. I know I love you. I know you love me.
I mean, you're still not shooting to kill. So.
Yeah. I think she really wants to hurt him.
Well, yeah, I
but
get
not
it.
kill him.
But he also knows, like, he can't take her with her. The same reason that he can't stay with her is the same reason she can't stay with him.
She hasn't chosen a name yet.
His name is Sam.
Aww.
Charlie. Do you remember
It's not his
the oath you
baby.
swore?
We didn't build 500 miles of ice wall 700 feet high to keep out men.
Yes, Sam.
Night is gathering, Maester Raymond. I've seen it.
Gather them up.
He's always good with his words.
On the first night?
Night.
First night?
I forgot he's learning to read.
Why is there a G in night?
I agree with you.
Why is there a G?
Are we being attacked?
Stay here. Bar the door.
I'm nervous. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I know. What's going on?
Why are they burning all of them? Is the fight over? Oh, I'm guessing you got the letter about the Starks.
Oh, she thinks it's her spell.
I have faith, and my faith has been rewarded.
So many annoying people in this episode.
What is the life of one bastard boy against a kingdom?
Everything.
The boy must die.
He's not gonna let it happen.
He's gonna sneak him out. Yes! Please, I need something good to happen.
Right. Hurry.
Get out. Find Arya.
I'm so worried.
Come on.
The gold cloaks are looking for me.
They've been looking for me for 20 years. Did they know your face?
No.
I'd worry more about the Red Woman.
Mm-hmm.
They were just looking for the helmet.
Yeah.
Which I got rid of a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's been long enough that you're kind of like small fish now.
The other way.
Oh!
Well, he's never been in a boat before. Like,
I hope Davos doesn't get in trouble.
Mm-hmm. I'm so nervous.
Me too.
John, it's yours.
Oh, they both made it back.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Jamie made it back. Oh,
yeah.
I forgot.
I mean, I didn't forget.
Cersei.
Oh, man, it's going to be interesting. Oh, it's going to be jarring.
I, Stannis, of the House Baratheon, first in my name, rightful king of the Andals, and the first men sentence you to die.
I understand. But since you haven't yet unnamed me Hand of the King, it is my duty to advise you against it.
He is a ballsy man.
I've made my decision.
Will she agree with
He's
this
right.
one? Yes.
Mm-hmm. You need him. He has a part to play in the war to come.
If anything, she does not hold grudges. It's all about that, like, final goal.
Yeah. Well, I think she manipulates the situation.
To her best advantage, yeah.
Yeah, I do think she sees some things, but... You did the right thing, Davos. I know I should be feeling a certain way at this moment, but I'm not feeling it.
I mean, I'm happy for a good moment.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm. I do get you did already have, like, one liberation with the previous army, so, like, to see sort of the same storyline again.
I want to discuss this after the episode, because I have mixed feelings. I have not even mixed feelings about it. I have strong feelings about this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool ending shot, and I understand why they're ending with it. I assume this is the ending thing. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm happy to see the dragons.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so before we get into anything else, the thing about the Daenerys situation, I'm sure plenty of people were watching that and felt like, oh my god, like I did in other moments when she conquered cities. But here's the thing about this whole storyline. I get that she's saying, oh, you don't owe me your freedom, that's your own thing, which I appreciate, but it still feels... The way the show treats this storyline still feels like, oh, look at this white woman who came and liberated these slaves.
When she didn't do
exactly. The way the show treats it is they don't show us any of the slaves rising up. They don't show us any of the slaves' experience before they rise up. So if they had shown us some inside of Yunkai, show them being influenced and then rising up and showing a bit of their experience, but no, it's all of this experience of Daenerys' experience and all these other two white guys with her. Who then saved this entire city when really the slaves did themselves. All they had to do was convince them, except for you completely ignore the slaves in the show. So it's not like with the Unsullied where you get a little bit later with Grey Worm, where he talks a little bit, or Missandei. I should be feeling like, oh, they're so inspired by her that they rose up and freed themselves. But honestly, I just felt kind of like, what were you thinking, show?
I do wonder if it was more of like a time constraint, budget constraint thing. Just because I think partially, since she's already sort of liberated one army, I wonder if they were just like, well, let's not show the same thing again, so we're just not going to show any of it. But like I said, this all could have been played out as like sort of like an intel thing that like Lord Varys saw later, you know?
They just handled it the wrong way for me to have any good feelings about it, really.
Yeah, and it's sort of like the yelling of like, mother, mother, but it's just like... They just met her. All they know is that she's there to, like, free the city. And I don't know. Yeah, I do wish there was more.
Well, she's really to take it over. She's not really. She wants to free the slaves, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, like.
Yeah, I do think it could have been better done, but I feel like it was partially more of, like, well, this happened in the books and stuff, so we have to include it. But it's not what we're focusing on.
You could have cut out all that Second Son stuff and instead dealt with the slave liberation, and that would have been way better.
Like, we did sort of see how the slaves were treated at first, because like when he first went there to like try to convince her to leave the city and stuff, he did treat them horribly. But I think since that was also like so many episodes back, like we kind of forget by the time you get to this episode like how horribly he treated his slaves, that the liberation doesn't feel as powerful. Like even like if they had shown more, that would have been nice. But since it's so like parsed out that I already forgot about, like, how badly he treated him then, so this is just sort of like a season wrap-up.
So there's no emotional connection there, and I feel like with the way they tried to do the epic ending, like, that's what they were trying to do with the mother thing, and I think it could have been pulled off, but they didn't pull it off for me. And I wonder if it was pulled off for you guys. Like, even if if this is the way it happens in the books, I feel like
the book definitely had more of it.
Should have done something, like, different.
Well, I think also it's part of one of those things. Like, I feel like they didn't want, like, the last episode to be the final episode because it's like that's the obvious final episode.
Yeah, well,
but
it
would have made so much more sense because, like, you are trying to give this sort of dramatic ending, but since you sort of glossed over that whole experience, sort of, like, footnoted it, that it isn't as impactful or dramatic as the last episode was. Or if they had ended it, like, with, like, if they had put this before part of what happened in this episode, like, if they had ended it even sort of just, like, Sansa finding out her family was dead and put this before that, then I think it would have been less, like, peevy for us, like, pet peevy.
Yeah.
The fact that you did it as the final and you expect the finale of the season to be, like, the most important piece.
Yeah.
Or if they had put, like, Jaime coming home as the last shot. You know, something that we're really, really into, that we've spent the whole season, like, seasons waiting for.
Yeah. I feel like I was really quiet during the Jaime meets Cersei scene, but honestly, I had such conflicting feelings about it that I didn't know how to react. Like, I literally, I think my face was blank because it was like, I'm kind of happy for Jaime, but I'm also not because I hate Cersei. I don't know how to feel.
I don't like them together.
Yes, exactly. I don't know, but I'm happy that Jaime got out of his situation. I don't know what to do.
I am... Speaking, getting into, like, well, I guess, okay, before I get into that, is there anything else on this episode specifically?
Yes. So I actually did not like this episode. I do not like that it is the final of the season. It just felt lackluster as a season finale. Not just because of the Daenerys situation, but I remember halfway through thinking, are we just going to, like, be dealing with, like...
So it felt more like this felt like it should have been the first episode of next season.
Exactly. And it's not like it ended on anything epic. Like, there's no battle at Castle Black, which I thought that they were approaching. There's like the fallout of the Red Wedding, but, like, we see two people we don't like, Walder Frey and Bolton, and that's it. We don't see the Blackfish, like, escaping, so we're like, yeah, Blackfish. We don't see Edmure in the dungeon, so we don't feel bad for him. I have literally, like, no emotional connection besides, like, generic hatred for Walder Frey and Bolton, and we're wasting time on him.
Well, and I was like, and you don't see, I can't remember her name, but, like, the Greyjoy sister and her, like,
she was the best
arriving at the battle or something. Like, if they had ended it with, like, her arriving at their door, or if they had ended it with, like, a view of the White Walkers at the end, or if they had just something to, like, build up, I think it was just badly sorted out.
It was, and I think that, like you said, they were so focused on, like, the Red Wedding being epic, and then, like, we're tricking people by doing it an episode early, that they dropped the ball in this episode as a whole. Even though there's stuff I liked about it, and I would like this probably as a first episode of a season. I do not like it as a finale for this season.
Yeah. And then reviewing things that did happen in this episode.
Sam married to Castle Black, which woot woot, and so did Jon. Also woot woot. But then he broke up with Ygritte, which was not woot woot.
I know. I do wonder. Like, I wonder if what she's gonna do. Like, are there other wildlings waiting to come over the wall? Is that still happening? Is she still with them, or is she gonna kind of go off and do her own thing?
Yeah, it's kind of unclear. I kind of hope she goes off and does her own thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's the last.
She's like over the wall. She's like, I'm gonna go make my way here.
Just like what's her name? She's with the younger Stark. The wildling.
Oh, Osha.
Yeah, Osha.
Yeah.
I
was like, what?
I'd like to say one day I'll remember everybody's names on the show, but I won't. I'm just sorry. It's a flaw. I mean, but, like, Osha, like, she came over and just sort of made her own, so...
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, she was captured, but still.
Yes.
And then, obviously, Bran and those guys made it to the wall, but honestly, they haven't even gone through the wall, so... I mean, they did. I did like that scene where they, like, met up with Sam, and Sam gave him the stuff, and that scene was actually quite emotional, and I really enjoyed it.
I feel like there were, like, the thing is, like, I do think there were a lot of emotional build-ups in this episode, but again, since it was a season finale, it was a little funky. But, like, yeah, there's, like, that prep of how are, you know, Jaime and Cersei gonna react, and then also... we didn't see the after effect really of Sansa.
Yeah, we just saw her crying. It was actually more from Tyrion's perspective, which was interesting.
So, yeah, we don't know really what's going to happen there in that relationship and in her character. So I'm really curious and also afraid of like what it'll be like next season for her, because I feel like she's not like a weak person, but she's not an overly strong person. Like she's strong, but this could be the thing that breaks her, I guess is what I mean. So I'm afraid of her just being super defeated again. Like she had started to have build up this season, especially thinking that she was going to get away from them, but then she didn't, and then now like it really, really taints her marriage. Yeah. And so I just don't know what will happen next season. I don't know either.
And also, like, I think they're going to be going somewhere with Shae, because it seems a bit foreshadowing that Lord Varys is, like, warning her away because she's, like, Tyrion's weakness, which makes me think that something bad is going to happen to her next season. Just because of the way it was done seems a bit like that.
The odds of people surviving is low in this show, especially when it's going to have an emotional impact. So I don't know if she's going to make it through.
Gendry. So glad Gendry escaped. I'm so glad Davos let him go, and then the way that Davos handled it afterwards with the Night's Watch.
He's clever.
I do wonder, we only saw their reaction to the Raven sent out to the Night's Watch. Obviously, he sent out all 44 of them. So we didn't see the reaction in King's Landing or like any of the other places.
Going to ignore it. They don't.
I think
like, they already think it's a myth anyways. I don't think they're going to pay attention at all.
Yeah, that's true. It makes me wonder about the northern houses, though.
Yeah, or, like, the Greyjoys, like, how are they... Like, because I feel like they're the kind who would probably still believe in it, but at the same time, their loyalty is to themselves.
Yeah. I will say, speaking of Greyjoys, I love that part where he was like, I'm giving up on my son, and she was like, well, I'm not.
Right.
And I'm going to gather all the killers, and I'm really excited to see where she goes, because she grew on me, like, because I didn't really like her at first. To be fair, I don't really like Theon. But, like, I like that she went and warned him about Winterfell, and the fact that she's not ready to give up on him, and, like, that she's, like, kind of a badass. So, and I love that, like, she's not just agreeing with what her father said. She's like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm captain of my own ship. I'm going to get some killers, and let's go take out these Boltons, which I'm all for, by the way.
And it's also, the reality is her father can't stop her. Like, she is really the strongest one in that family.
I don't think they have anybody left, right? Theon was the last son.
Yeah, it's her and Theon. Yeah. And I know he doesn't mind if she carries on the family line or whatever, but it's the thing of, like, there's no way her father could stop her if he wanted to. Like, because the people, especially their men's loyalty has to be earned, is what we saw there, and let's be real, she's probably the one who's been leading them for the longest time. Yeah. Like, there's the older people who are loyal to him, but, like, the top tier, like, fit people are probably loyal to her.
Out in the field doing stuff. I have no stake in the Bolton versus Greyjoy kind of thing.
I want her to win. And that's
I agree. I want her to win. Because before I didn't really care that much about the Greyjoys, but she's way more awesome than any Bolton so far. Yeah. So, speaking of the Boltons,
I'm excited for what's probably going to be the comeuppance for him and for
Theon's torturer, Ramsay.
No. For is it the Tullys? No,
Tullys was Catelyn's family.
Yeah. The
Walder Frey and Lord Bolton.
Yeah, Walder Frey, because like they obviously hinted at
the
like
foreshadowing for the breaking the guest right thing. Yeah, I thought that's definitely foreshadowing for something that's going to happen. I feel like what's funny is I feel like I don't normally pick up on foreshadowing, but I felt like that was really heavy-handed, and so was the warning Shae away thing was a bit heavy-handed because it had no other purpose in the plot for this episode other than to be like. Something bad's gonna happen later.
Speaking of previous foreshadowings, I am overly excited, strangely, for Arya having killed her first guy.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, the red woman, like, had looked into her eyes and saw, like, many dead people.
And the way she looked at the coin after she killed him felt like it had meaning. Yeah. Too. And since the Faceless Man is an assassin, I kind of getting the vibe that, like, maybe that is definitely the route she's gonna take. And, like, the fact that she's with the Hound, too, who is also a killer. Yeah, I'm ready for her to, like...
complex killers.
Get in some more,
I'm really excited to see where her story is going to go, how she's going to develop.
I don't know. This just wasn't what I expected, and it's fine if it's not necessarily what I expect. I feel like...
I mean, it's got me hyped for the next season. I'm, like, hyped for it, but it still just feels... It still was weird as a season finale.
A lot of stuff felt unnecessary. Like, almost just cliffhangery for the next season. So it's like, it's not wrapping up a plot point. It's literally like, oh, what's going to happen next season? And I'm just like, I don't really need that. It just feels like it's funny.
I mean, we don't have to wait, so that's nice.
Yeah, right. It just feels like a misstep in a really good season.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
yeah, but
there's only 10 episodes, so why waste my time?
Right, you could have just kept it at 9. Your previous ones were 8.
Exactly.
But I think that's sort of the overview. If we forgot anything, feel free to mention it in the comments. How
did you guys feel watching this? Sorry, dude. What were you saying? Sorry.
We do try to read the comments and like respond to people's thoughts. I know we don't respond to all of them. Sometimes it's just because I'm like, I am not as in-depth knowledge of a Game of Thrones fans as some people, so I'm like, I will defer to your knowledge.
I am really interested in how people felt about this episode, just because we have such mixed feelings about it. Like
I said, I think it would have been a great first episode of next season.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
So I'm just really curious if people felt the same way, or if you guys felt like so super inspired by Daenerys' thing and like so it left off with a super high note for you, or I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm also still slightly traumatized from the last episode, so there's that factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just felt like mostly sad and like disconnected a bit throughout this episode.
It got me hyped for the next season, which I guess might have been their intention, so that did work. But in my opinion, I prefer the shows where they end on the big note versus the prep for the next season. I always think that's a little weird unless you're doing it for like a reason. Like, you know, your hero is lost in some alternate dimension. Will they make it back? Like, that's the kind of like cliffhanger I expect, not the sort of like, here's our multiple little storylines and prep. Yeah, I'm excited for the next season.
Yeah, me too.
See what's coming.
I really thought that they were going to attack Castle Black. I cannot believe they didn't. Honestly, I feel like the entire season I was like, oh, this is going to end with the attack on Castle Black.
You did. You said it multiple times.
Oh my god. I can't. So it was so close the whole damn time. I don't know.
Sneaky. That's very sneaky though. It's like well thought out, like, because it is very realistic. Like I said at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the final episode of season 3. We are almost halfway through. Right? There's eight seasons?
8.
Yeah. We're almost halfway through. One more season, and then we're halfway through.
Yes.
So 8, 9, 10 episodes, somewhere in there. So thanks for watching with us. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not yet. It really does help us out a lot. We will see you all next season. Bye!
Hey.
Well, you knew I was going to be moving. I don't know why you grabbed your drink like an idiot.
Thirst has nothing to do with idiocy.